now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, text your family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that this is Don't Lose Sight. This is the frequency of the fearless. In a world that glorifies perfection, there's a quiet power in the imperfect moments. You know, the ones that don't go viral, that don't get framed on the wall, but live forever in our memories. You know the ones I'm talking about. Messy kitchens, mismatched socks, late night story times, and good night prayers whispered through tears. Today, we are stepping into the heart of such warrior, a woman who didn't need a cape to be a hero, just a laundry basket and a whole lot of faith. Her words have cradled mothers, her stories have softened chaos into calm, and her truth reminds us that the most sacred titles often come with spit up on your shirt and a schedule that runs on love. So this one's for the moms, the dads, the caretakers, and anyone brave enough to show up, especially on the days they don't feel ready. This episode is a gentle hand on your shoulder, a quiet me too, and a loud celebration of the amateur moments that become eternal legacies. You're not just here for a talk show, and this isn't just radio. This is revival for your mind, body, and spirit. This is Vigilantes Radio Live. My name is Coach Dini, and change is possible. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, let's go. All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL. That's Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond the music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, spirituality, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones that were out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest, she's raised 8 kids across 6 states and 2 continents. She's a former elementary school teacher, a writer whose heartfelt words have been featured in Reader's Digest, and the author of Once Upon an Amateur Mom. Renee Thomas Hawkley captures the hilarity, heartache, and heroism of everyday parenting. Her message is powerful, her voice is real, and her mission is love. She reminds us all that the ordinary moments often become extraordinary. So please join me in saying, welcome, friend, to Renee Thomas Hawkley. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I've just been hoping that the connection would go through, and I'm not very good at connecting with all of this, all of the things that you have to plug in and unplug and replug in, and so I'm just delighted to hear your voice.
Yeah, well, it seems like you got it figured out, and yeah, we are excited that you are here. Before we really dive into everything, what's been on your heart and mind lately, as both a writer and a mom who's seen it all?
Well, the thing that's always on my heart is my children, our family, who might be not having a great day today. Somebody broke their arm or had a spill of peanut butter on the floor, or just all kinds of things that come into a family that you can't expect, because what is going to happen is just going to happen.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I think your journey began when you first started writing Mother's Minutes, and then this led you to publish a book. Did you ever imagine that it would lead you to publish a book?
No, not at all. But I did. Sometimes I would just get frustrated with something that happened or didn't happen, and I would write a memory down so that I could have it for later. And then as I started to review some of those memories, not all of them good, some of them funny, some of them frustrating, if you're a mom or if you're a parent, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's just nice to have those little sketches that are written down, that you remember those, and they turn into be treasures later on.
Yes, indeed. Do you remember the very first Mother Minute that you wrote, and what was it about?
Yes, I do. The title of it was Graduation Day. It was the year that our oldest son graduated from high school, and it was just a time that I hadn't anticipated, that our son would be leaving our home, going to college, and meeting the big world all by himself, and we were going to be without his presence because he would be leaving us, and for long periods of time, and that was a time of great reflection for me.
Yeah. Did you realize that the day that he graduated, or did it start to set in before he walked the stage?
I think it was like a week or so before when I realized that, I need to write some of these feelings down, because this is I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm afraid, all of the emotions that a parent has when things are going to change, as they always do change month by month and year by year and sometimes day by day.
Yes, yes. So how long did you write Mother's Minutes before you began to work on your book?
I would say I wrote the Mother's Minutes. They became a newspaper column, and so I would write something each week, which was good for me because there are things that happen every week in a mother's life or in a parent's life that are either funny or not so funny. Their growth experiences, they're just things that happen to you that perhaps other parents would relate to.
Yeah. So you and Dan raised 8 kids across 2 countries.
Yeah, well, across a lot of places that we went, because my husband, Dan, who is deceased now, but he was in the military, U.S. Air Force, and so we had the great opportunity to live in several places throughout the United States, and then we also had the opportunity to live overseas in the Philippines for 3 years, which was very, very outstanding opportunity for us, for me, and particularly for our kids, because they were used to being American kids, and they hadn't seen what it means to have all the opportunities that they have in this country, as compared to children who live in a bamboo house, for instance.
Wow.
It was an education for me and for our children, and a good education for us to see and to participate in another culture.
Yeah. Wow. How long were you there in the Philippines?
3 years.
Huh. That's quite some time to get adjusted, or not?
Yes. It's funny, this is kind of a personal thing, but I had told my husband, now when we get to the Philippines, we are not gonna have a child. Because I wanted all of my children to be born in the United States, so we made a pact. We are not going to have a child when we're living in the Philippines. But we did.
Oh.
and that's actually been a blessing for us. God works in mysterious ways, and this particular son, who is the seventh of 8 of our children, he was able to, I think 17 years later, he was able to go back to the Philippines, where he had been born, and serve as a missionary there for a couple of years. So, life happens, and you say, you're not going to do this, you are going to do this. You think you're going to have your way all the time, but many times in my life and in our lives as a family, things have happened out of the ordinary, and then they've turned into blessings of some sort.
Yeah, we have our plans, and then God has his plan.
Oh, yeah. Still to this day.
Indeed.
And beyond.
Yes. So you also have a background in teaching and literacy.
Yes.
Did that shape a way that you parent?
I would have to say my mother, Renee Thomas, is the one who taught me about words and read to me over and over the different stories of Little Red Riding Hood and Teeny Tiny Woman, which was my favorite story. And I loved reading from the first time that she sat with us and would read. And so I have to give my mother credit for anything that I have to do with words, because she just helped me to see that was my strength. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to read all the time. I wanted to write all the time. Not so much quilting and knitting. Some of the other things that other people might want to do. I like words.
Yeah. And speaking of words, the phrase amateur mom is so honest and relatable. I mean, kids do crazy things all the time, and there isn't really a manual for what kids do sometimes. You can't just go to page 64 of, a kid. Yeah, there isn't a manual like that, right?
It's so true.
Do you think that title gives you permission to let go of perfection and just you're learning as you go?
Yes, Yes, absolutely. That's why I chose that title, is because you start out as an amateur mom, and here I am. I don't have children in my home being raised anymore. That said, the amateur part of it is still very much with me as I spend time with our grandchildren, my own children still. Sometimes they do things that surprise me. For instance, Jeanette, child number 8, just finished 3 hikes in Idaho here this summer that are really challenging hikes, and I'm just astounded that she has finished those already, and it's not even July yet. She had 3 months to complete those, but she's already finished with them. And it's not like these are, like up and down a hill 3 or 4 times. They're challenging, and I'm just amazed at that. But yes, it's amateur. I feel like it's amateur the whole way for me. My second book is going to be Amateur Moms Happily Ever After, and then I'm going to do a third book that's Amateur Mom to the End.
I like that. And you're letting moms know that they don't have to be perfect,
Exactly. Well, even if they have sometimes you want to be perfect in, just something, but you just don't have to do that to yourself, and particularly you don't want to do that to your children, because they know that you're not perfect, and they know there's going to be yelling sometimes. There's going to be times when you're crying, you're disappointed or something. There's going to be a lot of emotion, and that's one key to being a mom, is just facing yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm not doing this perfectly, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah. I've had one of my children. I have 6.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes.
Girls, boys?
3 boys, 3 girls.
Oh, how great. What are their ages?
18, 16, 14, 10, 7, and 4.
Oh. Oh, I'm so jealous of you right now. Because it's got to be, I just remember that as a good time when everyone's together, and you know where they sleep every night. They're under your roof, and when they go to bed, it's just like, oh, everything's all tucked in. Although I said that something to that effect at one place that I was. I think it was just in one of our home evening time things, and one of my sons, Anthony, piped up and said, "Oh, Mom, you just thought we were home in bed." And
like,
of course, he was a little more of a devious one during the teenage years, so things happen too when they're teenagers that you find out only later that they didn't always come through on all of the rules. But
yeah, sometimes it's a crazy time, especially family movie night. They're all talking at the same time. Like last night, we had family movie night, and they're all talking at the same time. Like, guys, let's settle down. I want to start the movie. It took 30 minutes to get everyone quiet.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
So true.
it's those moments that I'm living in the moment. I forget that we live in a digital world and, can record and, have these keepsakes. But wow, 8 kids, I'm sure that you have a lot of moments. And you said that moms are keepers of moments. Do you have any particular moment that you keep so close that still makes you emotional?
Oh, so many. Um, the one that just comes to mind immediately is our son Kyle. He didn't always think things through real well, and when he was maybe 3 years old, he was standing in front of a what do you call it? Full mirror where you can see your whole body. I can't remember the name of or what you say, that it's a full body mirror where you can see yourself from the top of your head to your feet. Well, he went and was looking at himself in the mirror, and then he took his fingers and pulled the mirror from the bottom. It came tumbling down. The whole mirror came down, tumbling down. But on its way down, it clipped his feet. So he broke every bone in his toes, or not in his toes, but right up above the toes,
Yeah.
So all 10 of those bones were smashed or came down with that mirror. And I'll just never forget that moment of just what to do about that, because I myself went into shock at that time, so I wasn't able to think what to do.
Yeah.
And I just remember having to realize in that moment that I didn't have a choice I couldn't just say, well, that happened and I can't do anything about it, because I had to do something about it. So sometimes you like to kind of sneak away from responsibility at the moment that it happens, but that's one that I remember. Yeah. When it happened, I had to do what I needed to do to get him to the doctor, and I didn't have a choice to cry or to be weak. I had to be strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those chaotic moments are tough, and maybe this can be some advice for mothers out there, because as parents, you are constantly pouring into your child, their development, making sure their journey is going according to plan sometimes. But how do you find space and peace for yourself amid the chaos, and how do you refuel?
I think the scriptures help me a lot. Prayer, I really couldn't navigate without prayer, and I don't necessarily mean the prayers that you kneel down and take a special time to say them. I mean, I think in the back of my head, I almost always have some not a demanding prayer, but just like a feeling of like, oh, please, like if I'm driving, because now I'm not as good of a driver as I used to be, which I probably wasn't a very good driver ever, but now I just have to think more like somebody who I really need help in driving, because I have to watch more closely, and I need to be an adult. Wherever I go, I need to be able to say things and to do things in a mature way, and to be a grown up.
Yeah. Indeed. So you've talked about starting over again and again as a parent. These stories are available in Once Upon an Amateur Mom. What pushed you over the edge to publish this book?
Well, as I had said before, I did a column for a few years, and then when we moved to Boise, I had other things that I needed to do and drop, so I didn't do that column anymore. And so recently, well, in the past few years, I've thought, once our kids find that box of all those columns, they're just gonna talk. They're not gonna be interested in those. But then I thought, but they might be interested in them if they were in a book. Mm-hmm. And I want my children to remember some of those events, and I want them to know me. I want my grandchildren to know me as a person, how I felt about things, but in a lighthearted way. I don't want them to just have a book of like names and dates and what happened and what didn't happen. And I wanted it to be lighthearted and something that they would that they could even think of themselves in as experiencing the ups and downs and the heartwarming things and the heartbreaking things of being a parent. So I just thought, well, I can just put them in a book. So that's what I'm doing. As I'm going through and then I do edit them quite a bit, edit them down or edit them into a little different pattern here and there. But it's just fun to go over those memories and write them for my children and theirs.
Indeed. What a legacy. All right. Before we let you go, if there is a young or older parent overwhelmed and is listening right now, what would you tell them?
I would tell them thank you for taking on the most difficult. It's the most difficult job in the world. It's the most challenging and the most rewarding, the most frustrating, the most time-consuming. But the title of parent, the title of mother, the title of dad, those are titles that stay with you, not only in this life, but that when your mother dies and when your parents are gone, they still have that title. The best title that you could ever have in the world is that of mom or dad. What could be more precious than that?
Indeed. Where can our listeners pick up a copy of your book?
They can go on Amazon. Right now, the pricing on those is just like over, I don't know how to get it down, but it's like I wouldn't pay for it if I were them. But I mean, if I had a way of sending them, I have copies that could do, but I don't even know how to do. I don't know how to market it, but it is on Amazon. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't pay for or that amount for them. But they used to be less, so maybe I can call Amazon and get them to change the price.
All right. Well, guys, we will have the link in the description of this episode. And what an incredible session with Renee Thomas Hawkley. She is the author of Once Upon an Amateur Mom, From Chaotic Kitchens to Quiet Courage. She reminded us that being an amateur mom is actually the highest badge of honor because it means you're doing it with the love, grace, and the guts to keep going. So if you need something to read about navigating parenting and the importance of capturing little moments, there are deep truths that connect all families. So Renee, we appreciate your honesty, your warmth, and your humor. They are truly a gift. And if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Vigilantes Radio Live and leave a rating. Share this episode with someone who needs a smile today. And if you support the show, you can do so by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Vigilantes Radio. We'll catch you next time right here where stories live and revival begins. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it was a pleasure to be with you.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure talking with you.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
Peace to all. My name is Deanie, and I am the host of Vigilantes Radio Live. I think that we are beyond just asking cool questions and getting cool responses. I think that we are here as creatives to provide an example that you can do things different outside of expectations, because some of us simply were not born into the club. But there is perhaps a door, window, or back gate that we can leave a clue for you to get into. Life is short, but there are plenty of moments to try and get it right. Pursuing your dreams and learning from mistakes may be tough, but regret is tougher. To book your interview, email us at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That's a V as in victorious, or visit onlyonemediagroup.com. I'm counting on you. Heaven, we all are counting on you to step into your purpose and your passion. You are listening to Vigilantes Radio Live on iHeartRadio, providing you with an opportunity to dive deeper.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com.